Waiting for the lights to go out. Red lights are on. Red lights go out, and away they go. And it's a good start by Tom Gadd. Good start by Rob Wellham as well. Pollard also smartly away from third position. So it's Wellham that's going to try and attack Tom Gadd around the outside into Redgate corner for the first time, with Pollard there in third place as they drop down through the Craner curves for the first time. And it looks like it is Dan Gore in fourth, James Clennell fifth, and Tom Westworth in sixth position, as it got very close there between Gadd and Wellham. And Pollard is that carries more speed off the old hairpin. Can he take benefit from that as they go through Schwantz curve and head up towards McLean's? Now, I don't think he quite can, just at the moment.
Yeah, Wellham compromised himself a bit, didn't he, by looking up the inside into the old hairpin. That's allowed Gadd, who's been the most successful driver in terms of wins this year, who leads the way. The champion, the provisional champion there in third place, Craig Pollard, who really admitted to Matt earlier how the nerves were getting to him about winning this championship. Behind, Clennell goes up the inside and grabs fourth from Dan Gore. So that's a change. But these fast three then, the three drivers that have taken the majority of the wins this year, are up front, and Gadd locks up into the hairpin. He slides a bit wide. They're three abreast behind, remarkably, as was that Tom Westworth got involved. And there, I think, hopefully will come out the corner. Pollard is attacking now, but Wellham's late enough on the brakes to stay ahead. So it's Gadd that leads on the exit of the corner. These three all champions, of course, now in F1000 race. There's a collision behind. There's a car that's lost a rear wing. I noticed, was that Gore that was going over the top of another car? Was it someone on him? Not sure. There's Higginson. He's got back out, but he's not going very quickly.
No, so I think he'll be back. No, he's not even going to make it to the pit lane. He's going to pull in onto the national circuit there. So it's Gadd from Wellham, from Pollard. Westworth was up to fourth over the line. Dan Gore was fifth. James Clennell sixth. But looks like, yes, Gore has dropped out of fifth position. Clennell now up to P5. And possibly David Williams was also involved somewhere along the line. Higginson manages to make it back to the pits beneath us.
So was it Clennell that went over the back of Gore's car? They've both got going. There's Gore's car, so he's got damage to the rear wings. So that's not the way how he wanted to end this. Certainly a car that obviously jumped over the back of Gore's car and then carried on remarkably. Possibly... so Westwood's there in fourth. Clennell's there in fifth. You're not sure then who the other car was involved. Anyway, here's the battle for the lead. Has Wellham got damage to his front wing now as they come out of the corner?
Looks like he might do, I think.
Yeah, the end plate's missing. Not sure where that happened. On the front right corner of his wing, and yeah, it's Goo Whiff now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sort of been dislodged from where its correct positioning, and so he's lost out now to Craig Pollard. So it's Gadd leading, Pollard in second, Wellham in third place, as they make their way through Goddard's for the second time. Out onto the Wheatcroft straight they go, with a gap back to Tom Westworth in fourth position. He's over the line now. It's James Clennell, number 42, in fifth position. Chas Heighton, so he's gone well from towards the back of the grid. From row 9 of the grid, he's up into sixth position. He made up 6 places on that lap.
But Chapman's dropping back. Wouldn't have thought it was him that was involved with Dan Gore, because he started much further back on the grid, so that's a mystery. But I don't know if Wellham's going to go much further with that wing that'll be giving him downforce in weird places, I should think. If you hadn't seen the accident, you saw Wellham's car and Gore's car, you'd think they were linked. Here's a damaged front end. It was David Williams. You wondered if he was involved, and it looks like that's who it was. So David Williams with front wing damage.
Yeah, lost a couple of places on that lap, and he'll probably lose some more here.
Don't know how Wellham got his wing damage, though. We didn't see any contact with him and Gadd.
Adam Walker, who was off into the barriers, wasn't he, in the early race? So he's had some time to fix his car. The train driver from Yorkshire, he's back up. There's Gore climbing out of his car. And
the two Mattel cars looking rather sad for themselves, with a team thinking, well, this season's not gone particularly well in F1000, I don't think.
Not what they would have hoped for, I don't think. So we've got David Williams still with his damaged wing, being chased by number 14, Adam Walker. We've got James Hills going up the inside of Mark Betts as well, into the left-hander at the S's, left and right-hander at the S's. And still this battle goes on. You'd think Walker should be able to steal a march on David Williams here with that damage to his car. Craig Pollard, meanwhile, has been through and done the best lap of the race, a 1:28.598. Bear in mind, we got down to a new lap record of a 1:27.7 in the first race.
But he's catching Gadd, obviously. He's had 2 fastest laps, so we've got a battle on between the outgoing champion, Tom Gadd, and the incoming champion, if you like, the new champion, Craig Pollard. Meanwhile, 71 involved in this. New driver this weekend, Zach Palmer. He's involved with James Hills as they turn their way through Redgate Corner. But an interesting battle for the win to round out the weekend here at Donington Mark. It's been a dramatic weekend, hasn't it, for the Donington deciding championship weekend here. F1000 perhaps had less drama than some of the other categories. Nothing too controversial has happened here, has it? I don't think.
No.
But Gadd leads through the S's. Yeah, I've cursed a few things, haven't I? So that's probably not the wisest line. There's Pollard behind in second. He's catching, I think, isn't he, in the braking zone? He takes a tighter line than Gadd's able to, or he chooses to anyway. And that might give Gadd a better exit, where Pollard had a better entry to that corner. Because it could be up to 11 laps this race, couldn't it? So there's a long way to go yet.
Yeah, so coming through at the end of lap number 4 with still 9 minutes of the race to go. It's Gadd from Pollard. Gadd's now done the best lap of the race, 1:28.417. He's extended his lead to 0.4 of a second over Craig Pollard in second place. They've dropped Rob Wellham, of course. He's sporting that damage to his car, so that's pretty slowing him up by a few tenths a lap or something like that. He's down to third place. Tom Westworth in fourth on the last lap. Didn't make any inroads on Wellham, so Wellham should be still good for third place, I would think.
Now on the telly, when you watch Grand Prix racing, they tell you about how many points of downforce a little mark makes on a wing. What about a wing? A wing is totally pointed in the wrong direction, as Rob Wellham's is. Well, he's only, if you say, about a second a lap slower. Okay, these cars don't have the downforce as a top line single seater would, but you'd think the wings are there for a reason. But not making as much difference as you might imagine. In most other single-seater series, I think you'd be in the pit lane, wouldn't you? But Rob Wellham's continuing on and probably looks good for a podium still.
Yeah, I would have thought so. As I say, no one's catching him, no one's faster than him behind. Although James Cloud did a very similar lap time. He's in 5th position, but about 5 seconds behind Wellham as things stand. Here are the top 2 then. Gadd, can he make it 5 wins in a row at the end of the season? 2 at Croft, he's had 2 here at Donington already during the course of this weekend.
Well, if it is his last race in F1000, that'd be a remarkable way to go out, wouldn't it, with 5 on the bounce. But Craig Pollard's not going to allow him to have it easily as they turn down towards Redgate. He's just set the aimshop.com fastest lap of the race. And for Pollard, he took that. He was the last person to win who wasn't Tom Gadd, wasn't he, in the opening race at Croft? And it's extremely rare to have, of course, 3 wins in a weekend, because to win race 2 from the reverse grid is usually very difficult.
Yeah. I'm just wondering when the last time was that anyone had won 5 F1000 races in a row. And well, it didn't happen last year.
Yeah, because we haven't had 3 in a weekend. You're not going to do 5 in a row, are you?
No.
So I don't feel like we've had any triples, but we may well have done.
Yes, we'd have to dig into the archives. Obviously, it's only relatively recently that there's been triple headers at some events. Up until maybe 5 or 6 years ago, there would be mostly double header events, I think.
Down to the S's. Pollard is close but not challenging at this stage, it seems. Craig Pollard, a 3-time 750 Motor Club champion now. Tom Gadd, a double 750 Motor Club champion. It looked like he was about to challenge, but there's more battles to look out for, because Mark Betts is up now with the damaged David Williams car. And Zach Palmer, the newcomer, getting involved here as well.
That's right. Really is dark out there now, isn't it?
Our cameras do a fantastic job.
Yes, but they're struggling. They are struggling in the daylight. Gadd's in another best lap of the race, 1:28.169. Pollard was 1:28.191, so within a few hundredths of a second, identical lap times, and the gap is still about 0.4 of a second, first to second, with still 5 and a bit minutes of race, 5.5 minutes to go. Oh, a spin for David Williams, and also for Mark Betts down at the Melbourne Heaven. And Betts has had some contact. His right rear wheel has been knocked askew. And Williams, well, that's spectacular, wasn't it, as he tries to get back in the race. But Betts is, now with sparks flying, he is trying to make it back to the pits, I think. But he's not going to continue in the race, unfortunately.
What was I saying about no controversy? No, he had loads of contact.
Yeah.
Spectacular images with the low light and sparks.
They brought sparks back into Formula 1, didn't they, a couple of years ago for the spectacle. We've now got it in F1000 as well. And Mark Bett's only just going to make it into the pit lane, I think.
Yeah, well, that means the race is uninterrupted, so thanks to Mark for that.
In the background, and as we've got the two leaders together here, Pollard up the inside of Tom Gadd. He's not going to make that work. I saw that Clonell was right with Tom Westworth for fourth position too.
Notice the lights on the back of the cars come on, don't they? When they're under 60 k's. So that means through the hairpin, the light comes on the back of Gadd's car, which come alert Craig Pollard, I suspect. We've got a change potentially for the lead. Craig's up the inside of Tom Gadd. He turns into the corner. He was confident, wasn't he, that Pollard wasn't going to brake later than him. So Tom Gadd continues to lead on the 8th lap of F1000 racing here at Donington Park. Pollard's going to have another go into the old hairpin. It's too fast there, surely, to make a move. It's really on the Grand Prix loop, isn't it, in those hard braking zones where the big overtaking opportunities will come.
It's Gadd that's had 6 wins this season. Pollard has had 4, looking to make it 5 here. They're coming up to lap, I think that's Mick Frith, who is in 13th position, will now be with the demise of Mark Betts.
One of the few people in 750 Motor Club racing to have done FIM World Championship events, having raced in the World Sidecar Championship.
Down to the Fogarty Yeses again with just over 3.5 minutes of the race left to go. There is the Mark Betts car looking a little bit sorry for itself in the pit lane with that rear end damage. But here's Pollard up the inside again. He can't quite make that work at the Melbourne hairpin. So it's still Tom Gadd, number 12, leading. Craig Pollard, the champion, number 92, is in second place as they head to Goddard. And they're probably going to get 3 more laps out of this if we go all the way to 15 minutes in the gloom.
It's that's where Pollard's strong, isn't it? On the brakes into Melbourne. So that is where the challenge is going to come. But Gadd is always pretty good at getting the car turned into the apex where he wants it, or in terms of the hairpin, I think getting a good exit, getting good drive off the corner. Yeah, Westworth and Clonell is a good battle too, but it's all about the lead battle. Who's going to get that final win? Craig Pollard just wants to enjoy this last race after the sort of a challenging weekend, I think, not in terms of results, but I think mentally winning the championship and what comes with that. Although he's done it before in Formula V, perhaps was that maybe not such a tight championship finale? Certainly not last time. That was a dominant season in 22, wasn't it? I can't really remember back to 18 how that ended, whether that was a dominant season or not. But
it's certainly been intense, and the pressure was on all the way to the end, coming into this weekend, knowing that he'd got potentially a big fight with Rob Wellham, which didn't really transpire because Wellham had that stall at the start of the first race, and he didn't get off the line, and so therefore he's been playing catch-up all weekend. But at the start of the weekend, he'd have thought this is quite a tough situation to be going into. Racing against Rob Wellham, who had big battles with at Croft last time out. It was very, very fiery between the two of them as well. Gadd coming across the line with 1.5 minutes or so to go. So there is time, strictly speaking, for 2 more laps. 1:28.084 for Tom Gadd is a new fastest lap of the race. Still not underneath the lap record, which is into the 1:27s that Gadd set in the earlier race. It's still only about 1/3 of a second back to Craig Pollard, who himself did a personal best lap. And again, they've lapped in exactly the same lap time within a few thousandths of one another. It's remarkable, isn't it, Josh, how closely matched these two drivers are?
That's right, and it shows that these speeds of cars, which are about the same pace as F4 cars, they don't really cause much turbulent air, so you can follow closely. Unlike in GB3, say, I think at Brands Hatch, their championship finale weekend, there was basically no overtaking, even in reverse grid race. But at this speed, overtaking very much possible when you can race closely, and that's one of the delights of F1000 racing, which we've enjoyed with the 750 Motor Club for quite a few seasons now.
Down to the Fogarty Yeses they go then. Gadd and Pollard. Is Pollard going to mount another attack before the end of this race? Is he going to just keep everything all up his sleeve, and knowing that he's already wrapped up the championship, he doesn't need to take any unnecessary risks and try any difficult manoeuvres as they head off up towards Goddard. bit more daylight actually between them as they come through this time, with 15 seconds of the race to go. Over the line they go to start what should be the final lap of the race then. It is going to be another 11 lap of these two, by the way, are a long way clear now of the rest of the field. Wellham is still in third. He's 4.3 seconds clear of Westworth, who's still trying to fend off James Glenelg for P4.
So we're going to see a last lap go from Pollard, or is Gadd going to do those 5 in a row?
Into Redgate Corner, we've got James Glenelg up challenging Tom Westworth for 4th position, so we'll see in a moment how that worked out. That was very close. Clennell was only a 10th of a second behind. He'd done his personal best lap on the previous lap of 1:29.391 to get onto the back of Westworth, but we're sticking with the 2 leaders. Here they are though. In fact, is Westworth and Clennell nose to tail now for 4th place as they make their way out of the old hairpin. They're about 17 seconds, 18 seconds behind the leader, something like that, as they climb up to McLean's for the final time. James Clennell only a couple of car lengths behind. You can see Rob Wellham a bit further up the road. They're not going to catch him. They turn their way through Coppice Corner now. A gap back to Chas Huyton, who is in 6th place and circulating more or less on his own at the moment, and Clennell not as close to Westworth as he was at the beginning of the lap, so probably Tom Westworth is going to hold on to 4th place finish, which is 1 place better than he finished earlier on today. The leaders though should already be on their way out of the Melbourne Head, out of Goddard's in fact, to take the checkered flag, and it's Tom Gadd, 3 in a weekend, 5 in a row, and he beats the champion Craig Pollard.
Well done, Tom. Great drives. We'll see if we see you back next year now after that. If nothing else, you put good value on your car.
James Clennell up the inside of Tom Westworth for 4th place at the final corner. Up to the line, it's a drag race, but I think it's going to be Westworth that has done it. Yes, he has, by 1600ths of a second. So a good last corner attempt from James Clennell to get 4th place away from Tom Westworth, but it didn't quite work. So it's Tom Gadd the winner, Pollard second, then Wellham, Westworth, Clennell, Huyton, Sam Satchell crosses the line in 7th position. And then it's a bit of a gap back then to the next car, which should be Ryan Thomas, who'd got a 6-second advantage over Adam Walker, and then James Hills it will be that I think is going to round out the top 10. But Josh, it's been an excellent season of F1000 racing, and it's been an excellent weekend of racing here at Donington Park as well. Yeah,
we've had some great racing. We've enjoyed dry weather today, even if it's not been very warm at all. And now we look forward to just one more. I can't believe we're at that point of the season. It feels like we were just beginning here at Donington Park on a wet Easter Monday, yes. Wasn't it? But we've had a great season of 750 Motor Club racing, a great full paddock this weekend at Donington Park, and hopefully more of the same at Silverstone. We know Saturday at Silverstone is going to be an extremely busy paddock,
yes,
with 40 teams taking part in the UK's, or one of the UK's oldest motor races, certainly the oldest sort of amateur club racing motor race. I look forward to that in 2 weeks, but here are our final results.
Thank you very much, Josh. Yes, the race 18 of the weekend was the Jedi Racing Cars F1000 Championship. The win went to number 12, Tom Gadd, by 0.314 seconds from number 92, Craig Pollard. Number 5, Rob Wellham, is in 3rd place. He was 14 seconds behind the 2 leaders. 4th was number 3, Tom Westworth. 5th, number 42, James Clennell. 6th was 17, Chas Huyton. 7th, number 19, Sam Satchell. 8th, number 9, Ryan Thomas, and number 9th was number 14, Adam Walker, with James Hills, number 77, rounding out the top 10. Then it was Zach Palmer and David Williams. Michael Frith was a lap down, and they were the 13 finishers that we had in the Jedi Racing Cars F1000 Championship race. The final race of the weekend here at Donington Park. As Josh said, we're at Silverstone in 2 weeks' time, the Burkitt Relay on Saturday on the Grand Prix circuit, Championship finals on the Sunday on the National circuit. That's all going to be streamed on Alpha Live, so tune in via the 750 Motor Club website or YouTube. And then we will say for now, many thanks to all of the marshals who've done such sterling work here at Donington Park this weekend. We couldn't do it without you. You've been absolutely fantastic. Thank you once again for your support of the 750 Motor Club here at Donington Park. Thanks to all of the other officials that have helped to make the race meeting possible. It's been a busy weekend for the officials, and as far as we know, it's all gone pretty smoothly. And we will look forward to seeing you again very soon. Next time we stream, as I say, in 2 weeks' time. We're back at Donington Park next year as well, no doubt. Josh Barrett and I have been up here in the commentary box with you. We will be both back at Silverstone along with Marcus Pye and Lewis Beals for the Burkitt 6-hour relay race. We'll look forward to that. Matt Suckling has still got one more duty to do down there in the pit lane. I can see that the drivers have now arrived down in the pit lane. So for the final time, we'll hand down to Matt Suckling to drivers. Have you got a torch, Matt?
Thanks, guys. Yep, down here for the final time then as darkness descends on Donington Park. But well done, you got the final race in and you made the hat-trick, Tom. Well done.
Yeah, it's nice to get another one, especially in this class, and a good way to see it out, good way to see out the year. Yeah, it's been a tough year for us, with engines blowing up and all that, with costing us a shot at the championship. But it's been a fantastic year in the end. 5 wins on the bounce is pretty good. But hats off to Craig for winning the championship. He did what I did last year and just make sure you finish every race well. And you've got to have a good team of people behind you like I have this year. So I can't thank Team Sellers Racing enough, and can't thank my dad who put so much money into time and effort into this car to make it capable of doing this. So my job's easy. All I have to do is show up and drive. He's the guy who does all the hard work. 4 days of the week, 4 nights at Stewart's workshop. So I honestly can't thank him enough.
And a good scrap at the end there with you and Craig. You kept it honest all the way to the end.
Yeah, he was pushing me. I was struggling to see him at some points in my mirrors. So luckily his car's bright yellow, else I wouldn't have seen him. But yeah, towards the end, I was sure that race went on for about half an hour. It felt like I was just going round and round and round. I was like, they've got to put the checker flag out soon, please. But no, he was flying. I was quicker than him at most of the points because of the aero, but through that last sector, he just had me nailed. So I saw him come up the inside of me into one of the hairpins, but just managed to close it off. So I thought at one point he might just back off and let me have it, but no, he kept me pushing to the last minute. So can't thank him enough for that, and can't thank Rob enough as well for the challenges he's given me over the past 4 years. It's been rough at times, but no, the guys on this grid are just second to none. It truly is one of the best championships in the country.
Good stuff. Well done. Super weekend, Tom. Congratulations. Craig, of course, went out in that one with no pressure to worry about. You gave it your all, and you gave him a good run once again there, didn't you?
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I never thought I'd say coming second to someone, but if you're going to come second to anyone, Tom's one of the best. So I was driving around there. I thought, all the years I've done V and I've raced against, Danny Hands and Martin Farmer and some really great drivers, and I'm sitting there behind Tom and thinking I'm doing absolutely everything I can here. And it's not just the fact that he's in front; he doesn't put a foot wrong, and it makes it really enjoyable. Even when you come second, of course, it would have been good to finish on a win, but Tom, did everything right there, and yeah, fair play to him. We need to do better for next year, probably.
And although the wins weren't there this weekend, it's been a solid weekend, and you wrapped up that championship, which was the main aim for you.
Yeah, absolutely. We came here with one target, and as Graham says, there's always more you can do when there's a lap record and a win on the cards. But yeah, over the moon, obviously. Really, really good way to end 2024.
Good stuff. Well done again, Craig. Congratulations on this year's championship. And we'll have a word with Rob Wellham, who's over here, just sitting on his car, probably a little bit deflated, unfortunately. But Rob, thoughts at the end of that race? We could see you've got some wing damage. What happened with that one?
Without swearing, rubbish. But yeah, it's one of those things. Just towards the end of the season, just get what's the word? Just not our luck really. But it's one of those things. It's racing.
This is the thing with racing, isn't it? 90% it is disappointment. You've got to take the rough with the smooth, but you're going to regroup and hopefully we can come back next year and give it another good go.
Yeah, we'll see what next year's plans are, but yeah.
And still a podium to end the year for you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob. Much appreciated for all the guys down here for having a word with us at the end of, as we said, a superb weekend of racing for the whole 750 Motor Club Championships. And we have had champions decided here once again. So we really hope you've enjoyed all the action wherever you've been watching, at home, abroad, here at the circuit. It's been a cracking weekend. Don't forget, we're going to do it all again in 2 weeks' time. We have the Burkitt Relay Race, which is always fantastic, in 2 weeks' time. And then, of course, on the Sunday, we'll have the finals to be decided in other 750 Motor Club Championships as well. For now, though, from Ian Soman, Josh Barrett and myself, Matt Suckling, and all the Alpha Live team, thank you so much for watching. For now, from here at Donington Park, it's goodbye.